Wealth, Yoga, Wine. This is Valerie Hale. Welcome to my podcast. Who believes that the power of your words can help a life? Who believes that the power of your words can damage a life? There was a study done by a Japanese scientist, Dr. Emoto, where he spoke over 3 different vials of water. And the first one, he said, "I love you." And the second one, he said, "I hate you." The third one, "You disgust me." And what they found after they froze the water and then studied it was the water, they were cleansing the water with your words. The first vial would be, after it was frozen, was beautiful snowflakes. And the other 2 vials, when they studied them under a microscope, they were awful colors and they were chaotic in their shape. Whereas the water where he spoke these beautiful words produced these beautiful crystals. Then in another experiment to show the same idea, the same scientific truth, that your words have immense power, he took rice, 3 beakers, different beakers. The first one, he spoke the same way, "I love you." The second one, "You disgust me." The third one, he completely ignored. And after a month, the first beaker of rice, which they added up water to also, had a lovely fragrant smell to it, and it was fermenting properly. The second one was turning brown and had a horrible smell to it. The last one, which he completely ignored, was absolutely black. Therefore, the power of your words is vitally important. We're seeing that in our country right now, how important it is to show gratitude to each other and to have a feeling of abundance, even in this most difficult time. Mary Morrissey says to us, do not allow the world to happen to you. We can create our own world. We can create our own economy. And the easiest and first way that you do this, start writing in a grateful journal every day. Write what you are grateful about and what you feel abundant about. It sounds something like this. For me, I have property in New York that I put on the market to sell. I brought that future to me in my journal, and I write, "I am so happy and grateful that the new owners of 39 and 39C West Dorsey Lane love everything about the property." And that's how the power of your words will bring you the kind of life that you deserve and the kind of life that you want, even in this most chaotic of times. Yoga. I have a kundalini yoga teacher 20 years ago when I lived in Florida, and she said, just because you have one doesn't mean you have to be one. When you go to my website, shayvalerie.us, I have really great programs that you can access for free from Mary Morrissey and Bob Proctor and Peggy McCall. And that's under wealth. And when you click on yoga, you'll see my virtual yoga teacher, Har Prakash. She has taught us an antivirus breath. That second strain of COVID that's coming around now is even more contagious. And this breath is very easy to do. You only have to do it 1 minute a day, she says. And this is how I'm going to instruct you over a podcast how to do this antivirus breath. You're going to stick your tongue out. You're going to clamp down on your tongue gently with your teeth. You're going to breathe in through your mouth. And your belly is filling up with air like it's a balloon. And then you exhale. So you clamp down on your tongue, stick your tongue out, breathe in, extend your belly like it's a balloon, and then exhale. All this is doing it's going through your mouth. And it's a cleansing breath. You only have to do it one day, 1 minute. So just go to my website, shayvalerie.us, click on that, and you'll stay healthy in this crazy pandemic time. Wine. What I want Americans to start learning is flavor profile. I'm a Francophile. I have sold French wine for over 25 years. It's my go-to. However, I know for Americans, most of you drink domestic wines. I'm going to use an example of a domestic Chardonnay from California, which historically, the Chardonnay flavor profile was very buttery and oaky. No foods really go with buttery and oaky wines. However, there is an exception. Lobster or another kind of a rich entree like Alfredo sauce, that would go with those kind of wines. Luckily, the vintners from California and other domestic areas are changing, thank goodness, their treatment of Chardonnay. Now many of them are unoaked. Many of them are so crisp and clean, you can have them by the glass. You don't even have to pair them with food. But that's what this is about, is food and wine pairing. Me being a Francophile, the perfect wine pairing for me is a Bordeaux Blanc from Ante de Mur and guacamole. I love that. That's excellent. Because Bordeaux Blanc is a combination of Sauvignon Blanc and usually Muscadel. Semillon. You can think outside of your box of your everyday drinking when you go to really good wine stores. I do not shop at the retail stores, the chain stores. Two of my favorite wine stores, which are independently owned, or else they have independent buyers who have their own way of buying wines for their customers. Those two stores that I love are Mazzaros and also West Palm Wines. Mazzaros is in St. Petersburg. West Palm Wines is in Ybor City. To recap, the power of your words are so important. It can make or break a life. Remember, your thoughts become things, so choose the good ones. And as my yoga teacher said, my kundalini yoga teacher said, just because you have one doesn't mean you have to be one. And go to your independent wine store, choose a couple of bottles of wine, learn the profile of these wines, and then you're going to have amazing food and wine combinations. It takes time. I've been doing this for 25 years. The whole idea of this podcast, folks, is to improve your lives a little bit every day. Merci et au revoir.